Let's be real. Talking politics with people you love can feel like tap dancing through a minefield. Whether it's your partner, your parent, your childhood best friend, or your cousin at Thanksgiving dinner, political differences can make even the most grounded among us feel tight-chested and anxious. And in today's climate, where political beliefs aren't just about policy, but tied to core values, identity, and moral worldview, those conversations can carry even more weight. As a Black psychologist who has witnessed the rising emotional toll of polarization in both the therapy room and at the family table, I want to walk you through how to have these hard political conversations with grace, psychological insight, and yes, boundaries. Let's break down what research says about how political differences impact relationships, how to navigate these tough talks, and how to stay connected without betraying yourself. Welcome back to Savvy Psychologist. I'm your host, Dr. Monica Johnson. Every week on this show, I'll help you face life's challenges with evidence-based approaches, a sympathetic ear, and zero judgment. Let's first talk about why political differences hit so hard. The first is politics is personal now. Politics used to be about taxes and infrastructure. Now it's about who gets to be seen as fully human. For many folks, especially those from marginalized communities, political issues aren't abstract. They're about safety, belonging, and survival. So when a loved one expresses views that feel like a denial of your reality or values, it cuts deep. Research backs this up. A 2020 Pew Research study found that nearly 8 in 10 Americans not only disagreed with the opposing party, but also viewed them as a threat to the nation's well-being. That level of distrust makes bridge building hard. Number 2 is political identity is social identity. According to social identity theory, we derive part of our self-esteem and sense of belonging from the groups we're a part of, like race, gender, religion, and political affiliation. So a disagreement isn't just about an issue. It can feel like a rejection of your entire self or your in-group. This is especially true when our political beliefs are deeply tied to moral convictions. Number 3, it's not just stressful, it's relationship changing. Political differences can erode not only trust, but also the very fabric of personal relationships. More than 1 in 10 Americans reported ending a friendship over political differences in the past year. And romantic relationships? Even trickier. According to research, 1 in 5 couples broke up during the 2016 election cycle due to political disagreements. So, how do you talk politics with someone you love without it ending in tears, silence, or blocked phone numbers? Don't worry, I'm here with a few tips. Number 1 is to know your why before you begin. Ask yourself, am I trying to change their mind? Do I want to be heard and understood? Or am I looking to set a boundary or share how something hurt me? Going into a political conversation without knowing your purpose is like driving to an unknown location without GPS. You'll end up somewhere, but it might not be where you intended. If you're just trying to get them to quote unquote see the light, pause. Research for moral reframing shows that people are more open to persuasion when the argument reflects their values, not just yours. If you want to reduce polarization, it starts with the olive branch instead of the stick. Number 2 is the CSI the situation. CSI stands for connect, share, ingratiate. Let's say your uncle made a comment minimizing police brutality. Instead of launching into how could you mode, understandable but not effective, you could try my CSI method. The C stands for connect. I know we both care about safety and fairness. The S is for share. When I hear statements like that, it's hard for me because I think about my own experiences and what it's like walking around in this world as a Black woman. The I is for ingratiate. I'm telling you this because I value our relationship and I want us to be able to talk, even when we don't agree. This doesn't mean watering down your truth. It means packaging it in a way that invites dialogue instead of defense. Number three is to manage your nervous system first. Political conversations are often emotionally activating. If you go in hot, you'll likely come out scorched. Try a grounding technique like deep breathing, placing both feet flat on the floor, or repeating a calming mantra like, I can stay grounded and speak my truth. Number four is to use I statements, not you accusations. Instead of you're being racist, try, when I hear that, it feels like my lived experience as a Black woman is being dismissed. It may feel softer, but it's actually braver. You're naming your pain instead of attacking, which invites accountability instead of defensiveness. Number five, don't debate facts, discuss values. In politically charged conversations, facts are often filtered through confirmation bias. So instead of arguing over data, try talking about the values underneath. For example, instead of saying the wealth gap is due to systemic racism, say, I believe in fairness. And it's hard to feel like things are fair when BIPOC families have been systematically denied wealth building opportunities for generations. Values are more universal and they're more likely to connect than divide. Even with all the tools in the world, some conversations won't go how you hoped. Maybe your loved one shut down. Maybe they lash out. Maybe they say something that reopens old wounds. Don't worry, I have a few tips for this as well. The first is to validate yourself. You are not responsible for how others receive your truth. You're responsible for showing up with integrity. That's it. Number two is to set boundaries if needed. Sometimes love means creating space. You might say, I love you, but I can't talk about this right now. Or, if we're going to talk about politics, it has to be respectful, or I'll need to walk away. Or, one final example, I won't tolerate language that dehumanizes others. That's where I draw the line. Boundaries are a kindness to you and to the relationship. They create the safety needed for future reconnection. Number three is to practice strategic disengagement. If this person isn't emotionally safe or repeatedly disregards your humanity, it's okay to disengage. This doesn't mean you're giving up. It means you're preserving your mental health, and that's revolutionary in and of itself. Let's be honest, not all differences are tolerable, but some are. So, how do you tell the difference between a difference in opinion and a difference in values that erodes trust? Here's a few questions that you can ask yourself. Can I still be my full self in this relationship? Do I feel emotionally safe sharing my beliefs? Do they show respect even when we disagree? If the answer is yes, here's how to live with those differences without losing your mind. Number one is to focus on common ground. Do you both love your family, care about your communities, want a better future for your kids? Those shared values are bridges. You don't have to ignore differences, but don't overlook the similarities either. Number two is to know what to let go of. You don't need to attend every argument you're invited to. If the disagreement isn't harming you directly and you've said your piece, let it be. Not every conversation has to lead to a consensus. Number 3 is to create non-political zones. Find shared activities like cooking together, watching a favorite show, playing music, any of these things that reconnect you outside the realm of disagreement. According to Gottman Institute research on relationships, positive interactions must outnumber negative ones by at least 5-1 for a relationship to thrive. That applies to family and friendships too. Number 4 is to practice compassion with limits. Sometimes people are a product of their environment, their fear, or their misinformation. Understanding this doesn't excuse harmful beliefs, but it can soften our reactivity. Compassion is for you too. It keeps you from becoming hardened. That said, compassion doesn't require proximity. You can love someone and still love yourself enough to limit access. In a world where political differences feel like fault lines, choosing to engage thoughtfully is an act of courage. It's easy to cancel, cut off, or clap back. It's harder and braver to try to connect without compromising who you are. Here's the truth. We're not going to agree on everything. But if we can learn to speak honestly, listen deeply, and set boundaries when needed, we can protect what matters most: our relationships, our mental health, and our shared humanity. So take a deep breath, ground yourself, and enter the conversation not to win, but to be real. That's where the healing begins. What's a strategy that's helped you get through a tough conversation? Let me know. You can contact me via Instagram at KindMindPsych or via my email at psychologist@quickanddirtytips.com. The Savvy Psychologist is a Quick and Dirty Tips podcast. It's audio engineered by Steve Rickyberg. The director of podcasts is Holly Hutchings. Our podcast and advertising operations specialist is Morgan Christensen. And Nathaniel Hoops is our marketing contractor. Follow Savvy Psychologist on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. That's all for this episode of Savvy Psychologist. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next week.